Hello, welcome back to Swans Cast Match Preview, everyone. So it's been a couple of weeks since the last time one of these. Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties. My PC broke basically, so bit low on the content side from us the last couple of weeks, which we can only apologise about. But we're back, and I'm back joined by a guest from the Huddersfield fan base, Ryan. So welcome, Ryan.
Hello, mate. Yeah, thank you for having me on. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to speaking about this game this weekend. But yeah.
No problem. Thank you for coming on. And yeah, if you'd like to maybe share, Ryan, because you've got your own YouTube channel where you talk about Huddersfield and some other stuff, haven't you? So if you want to share that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you can find me on my own channel, of course, Huddersfield Town Fan TV. Like I said, I do match previews, reviews, and sometimes occasionally I vlog, which I don't do religiously. I sometimes do them, but I did manage to do one for the Lionesses' victory actually in the final, obviously the Euros final. That's just hit over 1K, so that's quite good. But yeah, you can follow me, you can subscribe on there, and obviously on my socials, HTFTV8 on Instagram and Twitter as well. So yeah, we really appreciate if everybody could kind of come on and show the support to the channel. Like I say, not been doing it long, to be fair. My YouTube channel, it's only been really since the start of the season, so I'm pretty new to this.
Doing well then. Keep it going. Because I think there's a lot more room for kind of fan-made content. So just keep it up, and I'm sure it will go well for you. But yeah, if you want to check out Ryan's channel, I'll link it into the video description below. But I think if you just type in Huddersfield Town Fan TV, you'll probably find it on YouTube.
Yeah, you will. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into the actual match preview stuff then. Huddersfield, sorry to say, are currently sitting bottom of the league. Now, I know it's never a nice place to be. If there's any sort of, I don't know if it'll make you feel any better, but about 10 games ago, we were down there basically in the bottom three, perhaps feeling the same way, although it's earlier on, so there's a lot more time to fix it. But it's still quite close in the championship. So we had one good run where we won 7 games in 9, and that shot us up the table into the playoffs at the time. We've fallen out a little bit now with a little bit of bad form, but anything can happen is what I'm trying to say. And you have picked up a win in the last game. So you beat QPR, which is a good win, especially away from home. But I just wanted to ask, how has your season been so far, really, the start of the season, and how are you feeling about it? Any notable events?
Yeah, obviously, it's been a really difficult, start to the season, obviously. But I think that obviously the summer was a big thing for us. Obviously, we did manage to get some players in, but obviously we lost, obviously 2 key names, obviously Lewis O'Brien and Harry Toffolo, which, 2 big players for us last season, and big kind of shoes to fill in terms of who we kind of replaced them with. I'm not saying the players they brought in aren't up to it, but it's very hard to replace people like that. And then obviously, for me, losing the manager, the way the manager situation happened with Carlos leaving, a week before the season started, for me, he did throw us under the bus a bit, if I'm honest with you. And I don't think, I haven't really forgiven him for that, really, for what he did, really, because I appreciate that if he wants to leave, he should have done pretty much directly after the playoff final, really, and rather than waiting, until that point, because then ultimately it's disrupted the preparation for the season, and then we've kind of, it's just brought that uncertainty, really. And I think that he's partly responsible for the slow start, really, in my opinion. I think he really did, make his, he just threw under the bus, like I said. So, and obviously, going into the season, it was kind of Danny Scoville took the reins, and then obviously a guy that obviously hasn't had much experience in this managerial kind of position, and obviously it was a bad decision to appoint him, because again I feel like the club did throw him under the bus a bit as well, because Danny obviously was part of the coaching setup within the academy, and obviously and things, but now obviously ultimately it didn't work out for him here, and now he's not at the club at all anymore. Obviously, he's actually got a job at Doncaster now. He's managing Doncaster. So it's a shame that he's no longer with us in some form. Then obviously Mark Fotheringham's come in and kind of you know, we've seen glimpses, and you know, again, another guy that's not really done much. You know, obviously not had much managerial experience, but I think we're seeing signs that things could be on the way up, but it's just taking a lot of time. But like I say, as well as you know the disruption to the start of the season, we've been very unfortunate with injuries. Really, I mean, you know, we've got like, you know, 8 or 9 players out at the moment through injuries, so that's a massive numbers really when we've got a relatively thin squad, really, if I'm honest with you. And yeah, it's not been great, but there is signs that obviously we picked up a win midweek. But the thing is for us is it's the consistency for us. You know, we've maybe had one good game where we've beaten, you know, a team very rarely, but when we have beaten, for example, Millwall, we beat Millwall and then we go and lose the next 2 games. And then obviously we win against QPR and obviously hopefully we'll follow that with a win. But yeah, consistency and defensively being a big problem, really, to be honest with you. You know, conceding so many silly goals and not scoring enough, not creating enough, and you know, as you can expect from a team down at the bottom. But I do believe there is hope, there's positivity there, and I do believe that we can get out of this situation, as much as this feels like a messy situation that we're in at the moment. But it's a long season, like I say, and I think that we are a solid championship team, and I think there is worse teams in the division than us. So I do have hope still. I'm not, you know, there's still a long way to go, of course.
Yeah, definitely a long way to go. Obviously, we've got this break now, so anything could really happen. Things could really change around after the World Cup. So you're not exactly far off. I think 2 wins and you're perhaps lower mid-table again. So you know, it's not going to take much. It's definitely competitive all the way through the league this year, and I guess it's anyone's money to even call a playoffs, relegation, or whatever at this point. Long way to go. Okay, so we already touched on your little win against QPR. It was a good little away day for you. You said maybe that it was a bit of a surprise, but do you think that's going to have had a really positive impact on your squad and like the mentality, the motivation? And can you continue that perhaps into this weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's given the you know the squads, you know, the fans a big boost, really, from this week. Because like I say, admittedly, I think we're all going into this game maybe feeling the worst a bit, to be honest, because obviously I know QPR wasn't, you know, they are up there, but they've not been in the best form of late, really, to be honest with you. But we still knew it was a big challenge to go there, and obviously with the numbers as well, we were struggling to kind of, especially in the midfield kind of positions, we were struggling to field the team, really, if I'm honest with you. But obviously, we showed that character, that fight, that desire, that work rate, and yeah, we got the game plan spot on, really, and especially obviously the early exchange. Obviously, Danny Ward missing a chance, which he should really have scored, and then they going up at the other end and scoring straight after. I was really thinking, is it going to be one of those nights? It's going to be a long night kind of thing, but no, we showed character. We fought back, and obviously got a goal about 7 minutes later, and then obviously went ahead as well in, you know, just before the half an hour mark. And you know, defensively as well, I was very impressed defensively in that second half, because pretty much our backs were to the wall in that second half, to be honest with you. But we dug in deep, we defended as a unit, we were very organised, compact, and Nichols, of course, what can we say about Nichols? Just constantly you know, saving us with some beauty saves, especially then 2 great saves. You know, one from distance, one from quite close. But yeah, he's saved us so many times, to be fair. But yeah, it was a great win. But for us, we have to consistently perform, and you know, I'm sure it'll give us a big boost. But I just think that we've seen it before, where we've won a game and then just gone back to how we played the next game. So I'm not getting carried away too much, but I'm feeling a bit more positive going into this weekend than maybe I would have done had we have not got a positive result midweek. But yeah, like I say, you just never know in the championship, and that's the beauty of this league, isn't it? You know, it's so unpredictable, so competitive, and yeah, it's just a crazy league to be a part of, really.
Yeah, no, it is definitely. Okay, so what players should Swansea fans be aware of and watch out for from Huddersfield perspective? Like, who's going to do the damage if you are to get a positive result on Saturday?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, Nichols is always a key component. If we start from the back, like I say, he will come up with a few saves that he has to come up with, at the weekend, no doubt about it, because he always does. Attacking wise, I would definitely say, the likes of Jack Redoni, another guy that obviously signed in the summer from Wimbledon. And yeah, he's been a great player, really. He's always looking to create, always wants the ball. He's been very unlucky, to be fair, not to get on the score sheet yet. He's been in good areas, but he's just not been able to be as clinical enough in front of goal. But he's doing all the right things at the moment. He finds a pass. He's got a few assists this season. He's always involved in the action, it seems. Obviously, Sorba Thomas, again, the one that's been very good this season at times, but very not so good in others, because a great comparison here is obviously against Blackburn we lost, but his deliveries into the box against Blackburn was shocking. But then, obviously midweek against QPR, he obviously took both our set pieces that led to goals, and his deliveries were excellent. So. But I do feel like he's always a danger for an opponent, because he's quick, he's pacey, he's always looking to go forward, he's always looking to make those positive runs, and yeah, he's a great player, and like I say, he's finding some form again, better than how he started the season anyway. So definitely someone's lot, obviously. John Rhodes, again, I think he's always a threat. No matter how old he is, he's still got that goal threat, that if he gets a chance he'll score, no doubt about that. So yeah, a few players that I've kind of picked out, but I'm going to touch upon one player finally, Ben Jackson, who obviously came from our academy setup, and admittedly he's had to bide his time in the first team. He's gone out on a few loans, but this season he's one of the first names on the team sheet. He's been that good, and he's a guy that battles superbly, and always looks to get stuck in, and definitely always looking to play forward. Definitely the jewel in the defensive midfield department. Kasumu, he loves a challenge as well. Great player that breaks up play and looks to spring those passes out wide. So yeah, we've got a lot of talent in this squad, and that's why I can't believe where we are. But the reality is that we have had a lot of injuries. We have struggled with consistency. We have had that disruption with the managerial situations as well. And yeah, it is what it is. And when you get into the habit of making the same mistakes and conceding goals as we have done, recently and throughout the season, it does become a bad habit to get into. But yeah, we've got plenty of players that we can call upon to make a big difference in this squad. I believe in this group, I do, and I know that we may be needing to maybe strengthen in January potentially, and obviously a few players to maybe come back after the break, which, by the way, I think the break will suit us very well. I think it allows us to get players back, and I think it's kind of a positive in a way to be able to take this break, because it allows us to get the likes of Jonathan Hogg, who obviously has been out for a while actually, and a player that's never really injured, to be honest with you. So he's been a big miss as well, which admittedly is probably one of the reasons why we've maybe struggled at times this season, because someone like Hogg is so vocal, battles well, and obviously gets stuck in as well, and he's a key component to that defensive midfield role. So yeah, that's my take really on kind of the play. But definitely Redoni, definitely Thomas, and definitely Rhodes. But yeah, that.
Okay, well, no, there's a couple of players to be sort of aware of then for us. I know we've got obviously Danny Ward started up front for you against QPR. History there is he used to be playing for Cardiff, so
yes.
I'm surprised you haven't noted on that for who might start and who might do some damage. But if he's going to get his goal scoring boots on, I'm sure he'd want to do it for this game.
Yeah, that's a good point, to be fair. I hadn't really thought about that, to be fair, but I am just really focusing on how he's done this season. And to be honest with you, Danny has struggled this season, and like I say, he's had chances, but he's just not been able to take them.
Yeah.
I just think Rhodes potentially may be able to do a bit more damage from the start here, and obviously maybe Ward will come on and maybe get a goal himself, but I'll definitely maybe bring him on. But yeah, we'll have to see.
Well, okay, that's fine. Going into this game then against Swansea, is there any players that you look at from our squad who you think could cause trouble for yourselves?
Yeah, I think that a team obviously have always been, the where you are at the moment. It speaks volumes for how well you've done. Admittedly, I haven't watched much of Swansea, but obviously I know that Hero, who may not be in the best of forms at the moment, as we've kind of had a conversation about that, but I think he seems to do well against us. He definitely scored against us a couple of times, so he always seems to like to score against us for some reason. Definitely Matt Grimes as well, another one I picked out. To be honest with you, I think he's a great player in the middle of the park, and I think, a player that will kind of, be dangerous. Obviously, he did score as well, didn't he? As well midweek.
Yeah.
So,
First goal of the season, probably the only one as well, to be fair. But I'll take it. It's a good goal.
But obviously down the wing, I mean, obviously Ryan Manning. I think Manning's quite a good player. I think he always, looks to create. And I just look at your squad. We're looking at it now, really, in front of me, and I just think it's full of a lot of quality, really. So I think that we're going to have to be careful about everybody on the pitch. But yeah, obviously a few names there picked out, but we know that it's going to be a difficult game, and you've got quality across the whole park, really. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, it will be interesting. Obviously, our form dipped. It's not awful, but it's dipped a little bit since we had a really good run. We had a couple of draws and that one a defeat. But we have had a lot of away games, and this is another away game before we go into the World Cup. What do you think then? Score predictions, and how do you think the match is going to go? Ooh, pardon me.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think that having, won midweek, I think that I do feel more positive, like I said earlier. Obviously, we are at home, so I do feel a bit more positive about, like I said, the fans have been, made a big difference these past few games to get us over the line in some of this. So I think that, I think that we will win. I think that the early exchange will be interesting to see what happens, but I think we'll take the game to you very early on. I think we'll probably go ahead. You'll come back and get an equaliser, but then I think that we will end up getting a winner, and obviously I'll be very happy with that, of course. But I think it will be 2-1 to us. I think I'm just got a feeling Rhodes will score, and I think potentially somewhat, Sorba Thomas. I think potentially he deserves to get a goal, to be fair, as well. But also Radoni, I think maybe he may be able to either or Sorba Thomas or Radoni for the second. But just my take really on things.
Okay, well, I mean, it'd be a good way for him to go to the World Cup, isn't it? Getting a goal.
Yeah.
I think I told you in your match preview, so if you want to go and check out that, it'll be on Ryan's channel, about Ollie Cooper not going to the World Cup. Obviously, I'm sure we'll discuss that more in our podcast. But yeah, I wonder if there'll be a little bit of like tit for tat between those two. Who can do the better job? Maybe should have taken me instead, sort of thing. Hopefully, from our perspective, Cooper goes and proves a point. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So I'm going to say Swansea coming away with a 2-1 win. But as I said in your channel, it would equally not surprise me if it's something like a 2-2 draw where we concede late under pressure again or something like that. So yeah. Any last words that you would like to throw out there?
Yeah, obviously, I think that obviously it will be a very close game, like I say, and we both think it'll be a close game as well. So it'll be a really interesting watch this week, and it'll be a good game, and I'm really looking forward to it, of course. And like I say, there's the World Cup break coming, but then, like I say, it's back to it straight after that. No rest really, and it's going to be relentless scheduling as well, even more so. But yeah, hopefully your form doesn't start again this weekend, and you can just continue after the World Cup if you like. I won't mind that. I wish you all the best for the season, but from my perspective, I hope that we can get a win over you guys on Saturday anyway.
It'd be nice to end on a win. I think we got Norwich first game we come back, so that's always a tough one to get restarted on. So, but yes, good luck for yourself for the rest of the season. Yeah. And if you'd like to remind everyone where they can find you on YouTube and socials.
Yeah, you can find me on my channel, Huddersfield Town Fan TV. Like I say, I do match previews, reviews, and the occasional vlog. Maybe another one's coming soon. I don't know yet, but I don't really do it regular enough, the vlogging part of things. But yeah, head over and subscribe to my channel. Like I say, I'm always very active on there anyway. So appreciate anybody that can come and subscribe. Also on my socials, on Instagram and Twitter, HTFTV8. So yeah, like I say, I always kind of keep active on those as well. So yeah, please come and check out and join me on this journey that I'm on. You know, only been doing it, you know, a few months really. So, but I'm really enjoying it, and yeah, it's been great to have others come on and support the channel as well. But yeah, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure, and yeah, all the best.
That's all right. Thanks for coming on, and I guess we shall speak to you again. But yeah, good luck, and see you soon.
See you, mate.